To that, all right, guys. So now we want to talk about how fame can be such a great motivator for you,
and something that Mio will never understand.
And something that I will never understand actually, because I'm very far from it. But what we want to understand for today's show is actually how has that desire to chase that fame, to chase that glory, will benefit you, and not just you personally, but the people all around you, and make a world a better place. But sometimes it can backfire as well.
Couldn't have said it better, Mio.
Yeah,
and
I'm looking at you personally. Right?
Yeah, I'm totally looking at you as well.
Yeah. Okay, stop looking at me now. Why don't we look at our guests, because that's what we're going to talk about.
But anyway, yeah, as Mio mentioned, with the never-ending expansion of social media, especially, talking about all that, many users, especially, I think people are a bit stressed. People who are using social media, they have the urgency to keep their numbers up, if you know what I mean.
Right. It's just like having a picture of yourself on your wallpaper of your phone.
Which we'll go into that a bit later on. And, people start to focus on ways they can bring up, like I mentioned, the numbers in their social media, create more content, better content. This is, what I'm saying is it's not all bad.
There
are also things that are good things that come out of it. But, let's just proceed to our guests, see what they think about it.
Let's talk to the famous ones.
Let's talk to the famous ones, because we totally can't relate
No. Yeah, exactly. We're differently altogether. We got here in the studio together with us. We have the Miss Continental Tourism International 2022, Miss SANGLISHA KUNASEKARAN. She looks lovely with her crown over there. And together with her, we have the best top model of the Universe 2021-2022 first runner-up, MURUGAN.
And of course, amazing with his crown.
Amazing with his crown as well. Not jealous at all. Welcome, guys, for coming down. Really appreciate it. You guys look really good.
Thank you.
Good.
Totally outshined us here.
Yeah. Later, we're going to get the guests to stand so that we know where everyone stands in regards.
We shall see if we have time for that in a bit. Of course, totally outshined your bald head.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's kick things off. Again, as what Erin has actually mentioned, before we get into the nitty-gritty thing about the desire of fame, how crazy are you guys with your social media games? Honestly speaking.
Maybe we start with SANGLISHA.
Okay, like for me, I'm actually like really particular when it comes to whatever I'm posting on social media and everything. Because like even previously also when during my pageant journey, like one of my mentor have actually like advised me. She said, your social media is like your magazine cover. It is very important like how you actually organize your whole social media, the content which you're actually posting up there. So she said, if you are the cover of the magazine, how would you actually portray yourself out there? So that is how particular I am.
Wow, all right. So what about you, Morgan? I mean, are you the kind who can't sleep if somebody gives you a hater's comment, or suddenly your likes have gone down? How do you treat it?
If I receive that kind of the comment, I just ignore that, because we have a heart, right? And we have an instinct. So I just follow my instinct. So it's a bring success to me.
Very mature.
Very mature. Not everyone can actually go through.
At least that's what he says to us.
That's what he says to us. Probably at night I'm crying myself to sleep. Charge from where's our psychologist at? So anyway, well, you guys are, of course, well-known people. You're in the public eye. And like you mentioned as well, sometimes whatever you post on social media is your portfolio. Right? People see it. And there are also opportunities that we can bring up from what they notice on your accounts as well. But how can you put all of that into good use? Like, what do you think about it?
Like for me, what I actually do is, like, especially since I know I'm into pageant and all that, so definitely there is some fame, there is some recognition over there. So for me, I use all that to actually like do better, especially when it comes to social services and all. Like my advocacy is on plant-based nutrition because I'm a vegetarian.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You into vegetarian?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So especially like, I do this social cause of mine, especially like for orphanage children and to the public. So I really guide them on what is the importance of plant-based nutrition itself. So it's not necessary that, you need to be non-veg and all that. You can actually get all your nutrition from plant-based itself.
All right.
So this is how like people actually recognize like, you see she's a beauty queen, she's a vegetarian and all. And then the social things which she has actually done for the people. So that's how like, there are some people who actually contacted me like sponsors and all that. So that's why I realized that, using this recognition itself, I'm able to do my social cause at a bigger level.
All right, just leveling up basically.
Leveling up.
Rather than just shouting out to your closest friends, you're literally shouting it out to the world. Because
Yes,
again,
true.
social media doesn't have any borders. You can literally speak to somebody from the UK or from Timbuktu or wherever it is. You know, just sharing with them the greatness of eating plants, which I
Borderless
don't
world, a
think,
borderless world.
which I cannot eat plant every day. Like, I eat plants, but I need my meat. I'm so sorry about that. But never mind. We can go out and you can have my veggies. I can have meat. But Morgan, what about you? I mean, like, what are you advocating for? How do you present yourself in making the world a better place with your social media presence?
Okay, I just follow my hobby with a love and passion on that.
Okay.
So
What is your hobby?
my hobby is a photography.
Ah, nice.
Okay. I can already imagine how your account will be like, actually.
I'm more to wildlife photography.
Wow.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
started.
Wildlife photography, okay.
Yeah, so I take the camera and go outside and take the nature pictures and lovely the things and see the beautiful on the
Alright.
moments and capture that. Then I feel calm mindset and happy and just a focus on my professional is a help to me. So I hope everyone do that things.
Alright.
when
So which is
followers.
it for you? Like, is it modeling more, photography more?
Photography is my hobby and modeling and acting is my professional. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
But
I would say like he is pretty photogenic because he's a photographer.
No, I have to say, before he even came on, when I looked at him, I mean, like, you obviously get this a lot. The late David Arumugam, right?
Yeah.
You can't miss it, man. You can't miss it. I mean, it's before your time, obviously.
But I'm aware, of course. I wasn't born yesterday. You know?
Of course you're not. All right, so but when you talk about your hobby, I mean, again, like you said, your work is being a model, being an actor, but your hobby is in photography. How do you elevate that, you know, to make a world a better place, I guess? I mean, you may not get sponsorships, I guess, talking about, you know, like how SANGLISHA has actually mentioned, but how do you think that your photography is able to impact the world?
Impact to the world.
At least Malaysia lah, the world
At
too
least
big, okay,
Malaysia,
so yeah, let's smaller.
Okay, so when you see my photography, people can see the love on the hobby. So I hope that everyone follow the hobby. When everyone follow the hobby means they will peace and calm. They get the inner peace.
Pictures speak 1,000 words. you know.
Serenity.
Serenity, peace,
That's very
calmness.
important.
That's what he's going for here.
Yeah.
And of course,
She needs some serenity. Like she's like,
I do. I think we all do. I think we all do. After this conversation, I'm definitely going to stalking his account because I need a lot. So anyway, you know, I'm pretty sure with all, you know, we always say looking at social media, it's not all it is. You know, we only post the happy things. We only
yeah.
talk about, we only showcase what's on the outside. But truly, the effort to bring in all of it is entirely different, and we usually don't speak off that road. How hard has it been to be known, you know, by people, especially in this industry? SANGLISHA, maybe you can tell us about it.
Well, when I first started my journey, because at first I was a finalist of Miss World Malaysia last year. And then from there, I was the second runner-up of Ratu Bumi Malaysia with the subsidiary title of Best Speech. And then I represented Selangor for Miss Petite Global Malaysia. But despite of, you know, that 3 pageant which I've actually joined, you know, my fame was not really that much. But then it grew eventually because I think people actually like realize, they recognize the things which I've been doing, my social work, and then I'm also the Ketua Wanita Selangor for Malaysian Indian Youth Council. So that's why people actually notice that, okay, this girl, the moment that I'm giving her a title, a particular task or so, she's able to bring it up at a bigger level.
Yeah, as you can see on the screen right now, the things that you have been doing, you know, I think our producer has stalked your Instagram as much, just to check how things are. But I mean, like, do you get that a lot then when you walk on the streets and somebody like, oh, you're SANGLISHA, right? Like, oh, I need to take a picture with you. Do you get that?
When I was at Philippines, when I was newly crowned, they were really excited. Yeah, because my crowning, the whole competition and all was at Philippines, Manila, Philippines.
Okay.
So when I was walking around with the sash and all, because I'm not that used to it, especially like in Malaysia and all that, but then over there I was encouraged to wear it. So people actually really looked at me like a celebrity, or like I just felt like, you know, it's so nice to like get to take pictures with everyone, and they're also excited. Oh, like, wow, is this like Miss Universe? Then I was like, no, I miss Continental International Tourism.
But what about you? Do you walk on the streets wearing your satchel as well? Or do you have a satchel even?
No, actually I get a comment, you look like Ellie Cass, you're coming from the Ellie Cass family. I look like a Michael Jackson, that's kind of the
Michael Jackson as well?
Yes.
We've got some moonwalk happening here later. Okay.
We definitely be having a lot of walks here later.
Yeah, definitely. But you do get noticed.
Sorry?
In public, you do get noticed.
Yeah, I get noticed.
All right. So how do you handle that?
I just handle with the cool, and everyone is just say like good things on me, so I just accept the things only. So I didn't receive the bad comments on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all very proper and very nice lah.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
has actually come to your face that, hey, you acted in... No, nobody like...
Nobody, lucky.
So that's a good sign.
Of course, we are far from understanding what they've entirely achieved.
No. I mean, even my regular mama doesn't even know me. You know, I order
Exactly, that's what I mean. We're
roti
totally
canai
far
10
from
times,
what-
so he still doesn't recognize me. But yeah, that's us anyway.
No, actually, it's different for me because the abang mama there memang akan recognize me.
No.
Confirm.
Okay, for different reasons, but yeah. Okay. All right. So
Anyway.
yeah, Erin, we still got a few more things because like one thing that we do want to highlight is that with as what Spider-Man has actually said, with great power comes great responsibilities, and with such fame or like having that sort of influence to the public, you have a certain level of responsibilities to give back to the world. And some, I'm not saying all, obviously, but some may have used it to benefit themselves in a way that is not nice, if I may say so, like using that privilege for ulterior motives. What do you have to say about that? Have you witnessed such, perhaps?
I have witnessed, I think, like, you know, people like, because since this is like a really famous industry and all that, so you do get that fame, name, sponsors and all that. So maybe some people actually do misuse in terms of financially wise or so.
All right.
Which I feel which is actually not so responsible of them, because since we are holding this title, you know, we can actually do so many things when it comes to giving back to the community.
All right.
So that's what
And what about you, Morgan?
When we get a fame means, for me, it's every person eye on us when we get a fame. So we just start good things like previously I say, right? We have a soul and just listen the soul and instinct. So when we start to listen that, so we already do the correct things there. We have the attitude, how everything changes to the good. So that is
And
my
of
point.
course, you can see the images coming up on the screen right
there you
now. I
go.
have to say now, that's really photogenic because he's a
That-
photographer.
yeah.
He just knows how to work it, you know.
He knows how to work it.
He knows.
I wish we would have time to actually work him on this show later, but I don't think we're gonna.
But then again, like I really want to ask, you know, we're talking about fame and everything, and people at home, you know, okay, talking about all this. Oh, I want to be famous. I can get sponsors. I can get cash out of this. I can work my way through. Typically, that's not a bad point to look from, but sometimes we overdo it. We get stressed about it. We think irrational things about it. At times, I would say, you know, the pressure to have many followers, the pressure to influence people, become an influencer. We all see it on social media. But in your opinion, I really want to ask you guys, do you think fame really is everything?
Actually, no. It's not everything. It can help you up to a certain level, but it's definitely not everything. Like for me, when I got into this pageant, I actually thought that, okay, I have a focused goal. I want to use this to, especially when it comes to my social work and all. Like even just recently, a few months back also, I got Anugerah Perdana Belia Negeri Selangor. I was the second runner-up.
She's been dropping all of the awards, you know, just like, you know, oh yeah, I did this, oh yeah, I did that. Like, you know, nothing. Yeah, yep. Sorry.
Sorry, carry on.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so at least like, oh, where was I?
Anugerah.
Up in the heavens.
You're all about your awards here. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
no, we're
you
totally
had the
loving
chance.
it. We have to say, we're totally loving it.
Thank you. So at least like, you know, when but then I realized that, okay, I do have a purpose when it comes to going into this industry. I am not so much into it because there are some girls who I've actually spoke to. They did get depressed. They had that social anxiety and so many things because, like, you know, there's a lot of expectations. Like, you know, even when it comes to our body figure and all, we really have to like maintain that standard and all that. And even our personal grooming, everything, because people really look up to you, how you actually like bring up yourself to the public. And then even in social media, everything, what you're posting, how you're posting, are you posting your feelings up there? Every single thing people actually watch.
Yeah. Because you're definitely under the microscope, right? When you're in your position.
Always, every single thing. Even the slightest detail.
Yeah, and people nitpick on every single thing. Like you, I mean, like, would you still have your fame without your hair? No, I'm not. No, let's not go there.
He's definitely curious about that.
But how do you handle it? Have you seen your colleagues, your friends who are in this industry as well, who really couldn't handle it because of the pressure that it brings?
Any experience?
Any experience yourself?
Yeah.
Just what I see means they're running for the fame, rather than they lose the loving the work. Or when you loving the work and do your work like a patient calm, the fame will come to you. So that is my best advice to my friends.
I think that
also.
is true. That is true. Sometimes we just do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't actually typically love it. For example, doing a product review or something. I mean, I'm sure you do get sponsors for all that. Being on social media, we know it as well. You might not like doing it, but then it's a job. It's something that you have to do. It's something that you do because you have the influence, and that's how. Overall, that's the picture that you look at it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you don't enjoy doing it, but then you typically have to do it.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so we do want to hear one more time from you guys. Maybe you can just like speak directly into the camera to your audience. Like, should they want to take on your footsteps, that desire of fame, that chasing that dream, being in a pageant, being an actor and model, how would they able to make it? And if they can't make it, what should they just give up? Maybe you want to share with us?
Okay, like for me, I've actually gone into pageantry 3 times already last year itself. Like, you see, it was just one after another. And at that time, I thought like, okay, I think I'm just going to give up after this because I'm already 26 years old. So that is kind of like a little old when it comes to pageantry and all that, because usually people want younger girls so that they can groom them and they can stay in the light itself for a longer period of time compared to us girls around this age. We have to get married and everything. But then, you know, never stop continuing your dreams and so on, because like, you know, mana tahu, like even from, like for me, it's not 3 times and then finally I got this title, which I really didn't expect. And then even for some people, perhaps, you know, when it comes to the Miss title, they feel like they are not enough or so, then maybe they can even try for the Mrs. title even after getting married or so, because you know, even when I was in the Philippines, for the Mrs. title actually Miss Myanmar actually won, so that's where it was really inspiring.
So there are definitely multiple ways. Don't forget that there's always and other options, like basically.
Correct.
Morgan, last on you.
Yeah. Guys, actually that is no end in a life. So the end is where you stop your doing the things. So my suggestion is, don't stop and don't ever give up the things and just do the best.
Just do your best.
Just do it, guys. Just do
Lovely.
it. Thank you
so make sure you guys,
much.
Yeah, exactly. Follow them on social media, guys. You can definitely find them on social media very easily. We have SANGLISHA, KUNASEKARAN together with MOGAN, MURUGAN together with us. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.